No, it's funny. I had multiple massive ramp Spitfire stickers. Yeah. From Make-A-Wish, and Big O wanted to just take them off the ramps. You know, they were all over the place.
That's where you got them things
Yeah,
from?
so I got them from Make-A-Wish, and there was like 5 of those big Spitfire heads on my car.
What?
Just like lining it. Like. So I lived in California for a year, driving back Dakota Robertson. He actually, like, we got in this big wreck, and he like flipped my car and stuff. And yeah, and so when I came back to work for them, and so they gave me a company car because I didn't have anything.
And that's that?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so, yeah. If it were mine, it'd be spray painted and like stickers all over it. I try to keep it conservative. But
when you were out there in California, is that when you were fucking around with Alien, right? Or?
Yeah, that's Guru got me going on that.
Oh, okay.
He sent some footage a long time ago.
Yeah.
And my buddy Chad at Alien, he just started hooking it up, and that was like, man,
yeah,
a long time ago.
I saw you in the background.
Oh,
I was like, wait a fucking minute, I know that kid.
Yeah, I was trying to mess with that stuff. That's really like where like the whole NEVERMIND thing kind of came up. Like, so, like we had this ongoing joke. A buddy of mine kind of started doing it to us. Like we play Xbox all the time, like as kids, and he'd be like, oh, like, hey, Gnarly Davidson, like whatever, or you know, and I'm like, oh, what's up? And, oh, never mind. And he just like and then that started like we'd always do that to each other. Like we did it on Xbox, and then it started doing it, I guess, in person. You know, like, so I'd be like, you'd be on the other side of the skate park, yo, Tony.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh shit, what's up? Like, ah, never mind, forget it. Yeah, and it like.
So that's where NEVERMIND came from. That's what I was gonna ask you.
Yeah,
where the name came from.
We started doing that, and then I was actually like, I don't know. Well, I guess going back, I wrote for Alien, and I was like sponsors here and there, and I've always been super weird about being sponsored. Like, I don't know. And then like skating was this thing that just like opened this whole new world.
Well, where'd you grow up at? In Houston?
League City. Like,
oh, you're from League City?
Yeah, I grew up. Yeah, my mom still has the same house that I grew up in.
But yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you about, where that name came from. I thought maybe you guys were like Nirvana freaks or something.
Dude, it's so funny. Like that's the first thing a lot of people say. Like, oh, like Nirvana, NEVERMIND. Like, not really.
But that would be a super sick graphic, though.
But yeah, we've talked about that for sure.
So, are you guys working on a video?
Well, I want to. I was doing a lot of filming and shooting photos and stuff for a long time, and I kind of wanted to be more behind the scenes instead of like in front of the camera. You know what I mean? That's what I was getting at with like the whole like prideful thing. Yeah, like I try so hard to keep myself like out of the scene in a way. I love skating just for myself. You know, like we have the same thing. We have the ramp in the back, and we just like. We keep it super low key, and that was like the big turning point in my life. I feel like was when I rode for all these companies. I moved to California. I had like saved up money, and like I was like super passionate about it. And all these people surrounding me were like, "Dude, go to California and make it out there." You know what I mean? And it's like I was there, and just like so many people doing the exact same thing. It's cool for sure. Like growing up in skating, we've watched. Like I was super into the old Transworld videos. You know, like IE and Modus and Sight Unseen and then like Habitat video, photosynthesis, like all those videos. Like Habitat, like Mosaic video was probably the most influential. You know, it's like just so you know. There's that like. You want to make something from skating because you don't want to get some real job. You don't want to like, you know, we keep ourselves completely outside of society as much as possible.
Oh yeah.
And so, you know, I got to that point where you're growing up, and it's like, well, I'm not in school anymore, and not everything's paid for anymore. You know, like, so am I gonna do this or that? And then, so I saved up and I went out there to kind of just feel it out. And I ended up just skating by myself and like with my friends at skate parks more than going out and filming and being serious. And I just quit everything. You know, it's like I just can't. I was feel weird even saying it. No. I was about to get on America. Heath had just hit me up and he like wanted me to send him some footage, you know, And it was like, that was the point where, you know, I was already kind of bummed out about like putting my efforts towards other people's companies, and like, you know, I just wanted to be home with my friends skating for fun and like not taking it serious. And so he hit me up, and it was like, well, you know, do I want to like work my ass off out in California and try to make that, you know, my goal, whatever. And then I was thinking like, board company, let's call it Catalyst. It had to be the same thing, and you know, kind of like start like a revolution in like Texas, kind of like there's no need, or there's no reason for us not to have a thriving skateboard industry. We have a massive scene, and like
everything, not just skateboarding.
Yeah, massive scene. I mean, Third Coast, like the only real manufacturers and like, I mean, people like pushing skating is they're on the coast, you know, so like New York or Florida or fucking California, you know, and there's like this big area in the middle where we're all like latching on to these big companies, and like, you know, you can have a skate shop down here, and if all these other companies in these other areas aren't doing well, then you're not doing well. But like, I want to try to kind of spread the word of people like growing up and skating just for the fun of skating, and like just enjoying being yourself instead of like trying to live up to some expectation that's like so out of this world. Like, what if you never make that? And like, what if you end up like resenting all the time that you spent skating, and you know, oh, I wasted my whole childhood skating, like when I could have been, you know, or you could have like really grown into yourself through skating. You know, it's like, it's all perspective is reality, kind of, you know. So that are making moves and doing things, being creative, you know, doing something for themselves and not for somebody else. Like that's what it's all about. Like, where this,
that's what I was about to ask
not because, you know, not because I'm trying to like, promote. Not because I'm trying to promote, but because I'm hyped, like legitimately hyped. And that's like, I mean, it's kind of hard to, I mean, stress is easy. It's super easy to stress out, like about anything, you know, and it's kind of hard to like find hype in something, and find something to like seriously be excited about, purely excited about. And, you know, the guys over at Select, like, man, they're doing some cool stuff for sure, you know, like Curb Slayer, he's doing some awesome stuff, Southside and Kingpins, and like any other shop, there's shops popping up all over the place, you know, like we were just talking about, like A-List just started, and it's like Clouds and Tricks or whatever, you know, it's like all these companies, and Cades and Reserve, skateboarding is all over the place within Houston, and all these companies. I want Houston to be self-sufficient and like you said, not ride coattails. We don't need, you know, any outside industry. We, you know, and that would help us appreciate what everyone else is offering a little bit more.
It's hard to keep a shop open. That's why, like, I'm so glad that like Big O took over Southside. And he obviously is doing it for money, but he obviously has been around forever too, you know. And did you know the amount of time he spent actually filming kids on his own dime?
For sure. I mean, so I'm one of those kids.
So I don't think there's anybody better that could have took over. That's probably responsible enough to take it over.
That's the whole thing. He's super responsible, and people hate him for it sometimes. Like, you know,
is Curb Slayer part of your group?
Well, I would say definitely. It's all one big family. Like it was all just ideas bouncing around, you know, and I mean, really, I got together with Frankie, and we were already just hanging out and bouncing ideas off of each other. You know, I'm sketching, he's sketching, just our own stuff in our own free time, and kind of show each other, like, dude, it's so sick. Like, man, I don't know, you just get hyped on your friends doing stuff, just real, like, actual creative stuff. He just made some shirts, and then I was like, dude, he's doing it. He's doing it. I gotta keep up with him, you know. Like we got like, so we just bounce off of each other's ideas and like feed off of each other's hype. And so say like, this is, you know, Curb Slayer. This was made in my garage, you know. It's like,
that's sick.
And so we're just doing it just to do it, you know. We're drinking beers in the garage and just hanging out, just like it were a normal night, and we just make a couple of these and throw them out there, and everyone loves it because it's something that like they can relate to. Kind of like, I would love to see another board company pop up, and for a truck company to pop up, you know, Texas Hardware Code, that just popped up. Big O's doing American Blues.
What's
bearings.
That? Oh, that's his stuff?
Yeah, that's Big O.
Oh, I didn't know that was his
stuff. So
Sweet.
You got people popping, you know, they're like realizing like, dude, this is working.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are like doing their thing and like, I'm hyped on it. Yeah. Everyone's hyped on it. We're just hyped on like local stuff, you know, just, I don't know if you saw this dude, Mobsolete.
Mobsolete?
Yeah, he's like a Houston artist.
Mm-hmm.
He just started promoting this thing, like the Slappies.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
Dude, that's so sick. That's like the coolest thing I've ever seen. We're all so hyped.
Dude,
and like the community is all talking about it. What's this thing? The Slappies?
I know,
like,
dude,
what is this?
As soon as I saw it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the kind of thing, like, we're just hyped to have our own thing, you know, like.
That's what's up, dude.
It's so cool.
I'm fucking
like,